All right, 503, technology assignment. Here we go. Why have I chosen to become a teacher? Honestly, it came from me wanting to be a teacher since I was very, very young. Mr. Hauk, a sixth grade teacher at my elementary school, not even my teacher, kind of pushed me into it. Not even pushed me into it, it's just his example and who he was as a guy, always doing the intramural sports and things like that, really resonated with me. That's how I got to know him, was through playing basketball and flag football and capture the flag and all that stuff in sixth grade. Um, and it kind of set me up to want to be a teacher. And that's ever since I was little. It was always, I want to be a math teacher. I want to be a math teacher. And that was my whole goal when I went to junior college, was just taking the credits to get into the bachelor's program at APU, to get into the credential program at APU. And I was one of the youngest applicants that they had go through the bachelor program, because I had everything lined up, and I actually had to write a letter to the dean as to why, because it was an adult program at the time, which kind of shows my resilience to wanting to become a teacher. I took an 11-year detour through working retail and allowing my wife to build her business. And back when all the teachers were getting pink slips, honestly, I got scared, terrified. I didn't want to put my family in that situation. And my wife and I have worked really hard to get to the point where I know I'm a stay-at-home dad right now. My one focus is this master's and credential program, and that's what I get to do. I get to hang out with my kids and do that, all because of the resilience that I had to get back to this point and truly do what God called me to do. And then once I get into the classroom, oddly enough, I've already been hired on. I'll be an intern here in the fall of 2019. And I think the resilience of just completely shifting from a retail management mentality and taking those skills that I have as far as management to putting them in the classroom is going to be crucial. That was one of the things that my principal said that she really liked, was that I'm not just coming fresh out of education in a school setting and this is how I have 11 years of life experience outside of college that I bring to the table, that I bring to not only the classroom but to her staff as well. I'll have a different perspective because of what I've accomplished outside of education. Really, there's been no significant things that have happened in the culture that have driven me to be a teacher. Like the things that scare me in education, the kids' depression and suicide. Like, I care. I'm a relator. I want to develop these kids, and that's my fear, is that I'm going to have this attachment, and then something completely outside of my control is gonna happen, and I'm gonna be heartbroken. But I want to be there as a solid male role model. I'm going into a socioeconomic disadvantaged area to teach, and I truly believe that everybody can learn and that everybody has the potential to be whatever they want. I've heard enough podcasts and seen enough YouTube videos about these people coming from broken homes, coming from poverty, coming from all these things, and I want to just be that encouragement for my students. Like, this isn't the end of the road. Like, this isn't all you're going to see. This isn't all you're going to do. And I really want to just impact the students in that way. I'm trying to read my questions. How might my current educational philosophy have been impacted by my own experience in K-12? Really, aside from Mr. Hauk, nobody, and Mrs. Whalen, who was my U.S. history teacher in 8th grade. Um, Nothing really impacted me significantly other than those two individuals, and then sports as well. But and how it's kind of molded my philosophy is that I want to prepare these kids for the next steps. I know that my wife is not a person who is a huge fan of formal education, and not in the sense that she doesn't like it, in the sense that it's difficult for her to go through. Like, she's a very hands-on individual, but we all have to go through K-12, and we all have to survive through it. And I want these kids to thrive, and not just make it through, but be able to take what they've learned in my classroom and apply it, to their real lives. If math is used everywhere. My dad's a custom cabinet maker. He uses math every day. My wife's a cosmetologist doing hair, and she uses geometry and face shapes and things like that, which all relates back to math. And if you don't have those solid foundations, then you're gonna struggle. Even if you want to go into a trade, you still need some level of math, and that's what I want to allow these kids to gain and understand. So I think I nailed it. I kept it to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Enjoy.